Nice. I really needed to come and see what inspired the artists I admire. Hi, I'm Satomi Takayama. I'm a Japanese artist, and in this video, I want to show you a few of the art-related places that I loved during my 3-week stay in Nice. The day I flew from London to Nice was also the day I quit my full-time job. I packed up my entire flat, put everything into storage, and got on a plane with the one-way tickets. After 8 years in London, I needed a change, a shift in pace, in light, and in the colors around me, and then I chose south of France. Part of the reason I wanted to stay here for a while was Henri Matisse, who is one of my icons. I wanted to feel what he felt, to soak in the same atmosphere, the same light. So of course, I came to the Matisse Museum. Matisse moved to Nice in his 40s, originally for a short stay in 1917. But he ended up living here for the rest of his life after falling in love with the light and atmosphere. While living in Nice, he created many of his most iconic works, paintings filled with bold color, calm interiors, and vibrant Mediterranean windows. Walking around Nice, I kept spotting windows just like in his paintings. Can you imagine how excited I was? In his later years, he began creating colorful paper cutouts inspired by Japanese art, particularly ukiyo-e woodblock prints. You can see that bold, flat style throughout his work. Right next to the museum is the apartment where Matisse lived for many years. It's not open to the public, but it's just standing outside. I was imagining how this place might have moved him. Matisse also painted the palm trees along the beach in Nice. Seeing them with the sea behind, it felt like something lifted from a canvas. By the way, after spending 2 months in the south of France, I put together a visual art journal called the Artistic Escape Edition, featuring the places that inspired me. The link is below if you are curious. Anyway, let's get back to Nice. Another must-visit is the Marc Chagall Museum. I've always loved Chagall's work, just as much as Matisse's. When I was studying painting, I even tried to imitate his dreamy emotional style. Marc Chagall was born in Russia in 1887 and moved to France at 23, looking for artistic freedom and a new life. The museum focuses on his biblical-themed paintings, filled with floating figures, animals, and deep blues. I had never seen so many of his paintings in one place. It was such an exciting experience for me. And if you're a Chagall fan, I highly recommend visiting Saint-Paul-de-Vence, where he spent his final years. While I was in Nice, I spent a lot of time just walking through the streets or taking little trips to nearby towns and tried to really listen to what I love. Technically, I had finally gained freedom, but every morning I still woke up feeling a little rushed. Like there was something I needed to do, even when there wasn't. Would anyone else ever feel that way too? I'm also a huge fan of antiques, so wherever I go, I always try to visit antique markets. Of course, I did the same in Nice. One of the best places to visit is the antique market held every Monday at Cézanne. It's usually a flower and a food market during the week, but on Mondays, it turns into a treasure trove of vintage items and unique collectibles. There are also antique shops in Nice that are open during the week. One of them is Le Proust de Nice, near the port. It's open from Tuesday to Sunday and offers antique furniture, rare art pieces, and the other unique finds. There's also a lovely antique district I visited. It's home to a collection of antique shops and galleries. If you love antique furniture, decorative objects, it's such a rewarding place to explore. Nice also surprised me with its artistic hotels. Le Negresco is an iconic hotel known for its rich history and impressive art collection. In 1957, it was purchased by Janougier, who welcomed icons like Salvatore Dali and Princess Grace. She curated a unique collection featuring works by artists such as Renoir and Nick de Saint-Phal. One of the highlights is the Versailles reception room, featuring Rigaud's rare portrait of Louis XIV and a coffered ceiling sourced from a historic chateau in eastern France, and a grand baroque fireplace. Every detail rich with history. Another hidden gem is La Pérouse. La Pérouse is a peaceful boutique hotel above the Mediterranean. The interiors, designed in collaboration with local artists and the Parisian studio Friedemann Belsuch, feature charming art objects and furniture. Everything feels thoughtful, charming, and full of Southern French character. Its restaurant is a quiet spot, perfect for tea or lunch away from the crowds in Nice. In my next video, I will share some of the nearby places I visited, like Aix, Antibes, and the Renoir Museum. After that, I'm heading to Saint-Gaudens, where I will be staying in a house once lived in by an Impressionist artist. If you'd like to dive deeper into my journey in the south of France, I've created the Artistic Escape Edition, a curated visual art journal from this trip. The link is just below, and every purchase helps me continue creating and sharing more like this. If you have any art-related places to recommend in Nice, I'd love to know. Feel free to share them in the comment section below. Thank you again for watching, and see you in the next video.